A pretty comprehensive victory today, a 4-0 win and a very dominant performance for a team that is gradually finding its feet again after such a long absence.
Yeah, excellent display. First half we were in control of the game, but probably didn't assert ourselves in the first half as we did in the second half. I think we took the first half to get on top of them and obviously build a scoreline, but the second half I thought we were sublime, and didn't expect that second half in terms of the quality that we played with. The pitch had really deteriorated, and the message at half time was to work the wide areas and maybe look to beat their fullbacks, or bring our own fullbacks into play to set crosses, and basically just cross after cross after cross into the box was the message we sent the guys out with. But all of a sudden, we've really settled down in the game. We were enthusiastic all day, and that's been a key word across the last two games, where we're blowing the cobwebs out is enthusiasm and tempo. And the enthusiasm off the ball to show and provide angles to allow us to keep the ball in the second half was just unbelievable. And for me, that's probably the best performance in the last 2 or 3 months. And I think that with the rugby game on Tuesday night, where we were really rusty, and understandably so, and then today where we've started, not slowly because we're in control, but we've built our quality through the game, and then a second half performance where we looked exceptional, and I've been saying for a long time, we have players back available now, not 100% fit in many cases. We've got some lads that we're nurturing back to full fitness, which is showing with lads that are coming off early in games. But we have a group that quality-wise is second to none, and I'm really excited about the second half of the season. And that was a performance in the second half that I think is worth the admission fee, and then some. I think some real quality football.
You touched upon the performances. Obviously, Tuesday night was a game where, understandably, players were going to be a bit leg weary. But the performance of Darius Darkin on Tuesday night had many people purring. Sensational performance individually. Missing today, which might have raised 1 or 2 questions, but today's replacement for Darius, Marcus Jackson, won the man of the match as well. So lots of positives. Yeah,
positives all over the pitch, and to start with Darius, we lost a good player in Nathan Walker, but I've always said that I think in Darius Darkin we have the best player at this level, and for me maybe the level above. Darius Darkin could play in the Hereford side. Darius Darkin's a wonderful footballer. He's got a great engine. He has all the attributes of a complete central midfielder. He can run in both directions, he can tackle, he wins the ball back, he's strong, his distribution is very good, he's extremely fit, he's selfless, he works his socks off, he can pick a pass. The boy's not short of quality in any department. Unavailable today. We knew 3 or 4 weeks ago we had this date that Darius was unavailable, so there's nothing to be alarmed about there. JJ Milligan back in the fold, but wasn't available Tuesday, so the right thing to do is bring Marcus into central midfield, which is an area he's comfortable. And a great performance from Marco, because he's all action and he's got good legs, he's competitive, he can tackle, and he's not short of quality himself. So Marcus, an able replacement, and then obviously in the reshape with Sean unfortunately picking a little niggle, which is not serious, up early in the game. He wasn't running it off, so I don't want to be losing Sean Williams again now. So precautionary substitution there. JJ comes into the middle midfield and Marcus comes out wide, where again Marcus is a winger who's getting a little older now and can play in different positions. So, and a tremendous performance out wide. Very, very much like Willow really in his play. Fantastic, and I thought John Milligan as well in central midfield. Fantastic. Tom Bates when he came on, he's a really, really quality footballer. And of course Alex Penny in his new role in central midfield is another Darius Darkin for me. The same attributes: fit, competitive, strong, lots of quality on the ball. So Alex is going to learn that role, and I think that we look really really well prepared for the second half of the season.
Arguably on Tuesday night the forwards weren't quite at the races in terms of the clinical nature of their play. But tonight, honourable mention to Marco, obviously a bit of a barren spell in front of goal, but now it's 2 goals in 2 games, and today we really saw the very best of Marco dropping.
Yep. Well, I thought Marco was terrific on Tuesday, firstly, and the reason he didn't start the game today was because 110 minutes, 120 minutes on Tuesday on that groin was probably a little bit reckless on our part, and he was very sore after the game. He was in a lot of pain and stiff. and a barren spell, yeah. But again, Marco's been playing with a bad injury for probably 2 months now. We've obviously had him treated, and we're getting into the back end of that injury now. There's still some discomfort there, so we're going to have to manage him. You know, when he's had a long slog like Tuesday, the prudent thing to do today was bring him off the bench. So, but then what you see is you get that second half, and he comes on and he has that power and that electricity in his game, which when he's been on the pitch for an hour, does he score that goal in the second half if he's been on the pitch for an hour before he receives that ball with his back to goal? I don't think he does, and that's the conversation we've had with Marco today, is that we need to nurture him now, because we're going to head into a period where we have games every Saturday and Tuesday for the best part of 8 weeks. If we're reckless with Marco now, he won't even be available, or he'll be in really bad condition when those games come around. So that was the thought behind that today, to rest him up in the first half and bring him into the game for half an hour, 40 minutes, where he could be really impacted without working his groin too much. And I think that he's paid dividends, and he should be very fresh come next Saturday now. So Marco, I thought Marco was great Tuesday, and I thought that, you know, what we wanted to get out of that today, resting in first half, I thought it worked a treat, and he was terrific when he came on.
Well done, Greg Pearson. Obviously, he's perhaps not been able to play as many games for the team as yet due to all the postponements, but he's growing game by game. Apart from the one glaring miss today, which I'm sure the lads will have reminded him about at half time. Very good finish for his first goal, and he was in all the right places, particularly for the second one.
Yeah, a very, very good player. You know, he's had a slow season this year at his other clubs. He's probably not had his finest season, and he's coming in a little rusty. Not short of fitness, physical fitness, but maybe short of a little bit of football fitness, football sharpness. Thought he was slow first half. I thought we spoke to him at half time and said we wanted more from him. The last 5 minutes of the first half, he kind of came alive really in the game. Great finish for his goal. I think the one that's gone over the bar's hit him more than anything else. Great work from Luke Richards, and a really fizzed cross. I'm not sure what kind of sight Greg's had on it as it's come through the keeper and bodies, and kind of hit his ankle, and it was a remarkable feat really, getting it over the bar from there. But we weren't. I'm not concerned about that really. It's about getting in position to have chances, like the one Tuesday night when he's gone one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And again, that you don't. His previous history in the game tells you everything you need to know about Greg. That we have a really good player on our hands who's at a great age at 30. He's no age, and he'll be an asset. But he's going to need time, because he's not. As I say, he's not played a lot of games this season, not scored a lot of goals. So let's allow him time to bed in, and hopefully have a pre-season with him. And I think we've got a real asset on our hands again now.
Excellent. Well played today, Abbo.
Thanks, Dustin. Cheers.